Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. This is the Ellinesscrafts channel, which is predominantly a knitting and crocheting channel and any other crafts that I feel like talking about at the time that I'm interested in. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram and YouTube as Ellinesscrafts. I do show notes, so you can check out my show notes in the description box underneath the YouTube video, or also over on Ravelry if you want to see more information on any of the things that I am talking about in this video. So I'm coming to you from the UK, where I live with my husband and 2 children, and I think that is about it. So I have not a lot of finished items this time round. I have been kind of taking a bit of a break. I've had visitors over from the US, family members, so I've been entertaining them, and I haven't had a lot of time, or as much time, to focus on my knitting and crocheting projects. But I have managed to finish a couple of things before they arrived, so I'm going to firstly share with you some baby socks that I've been working on. I showed you last time in my last video the garter stripe baby socks that I made. These are by, who are they by? Jennifer Howell. I mentioned it last time. I made these pretty kind of colourful pink and purple ones, and I've since made another pair in the cream. I made a slightly larger size in the cream. I'm quite happy with these. The only thing I don't like about the pattern is that when you're doing the decreases for the heel, the kind of wrap and turn thingy, the holes are quite big on the heel section, and I'm not overly keen on the heel for this type of sock. However, I think that if I do these again, I will use a different heel. But it comes out really pretty. That's the pattern, garter stitch down the middle. It's really cute with a garter stitch kind of ridge at the front. I really like these. If you want to see close-ups, then do check out my Ravelry page, my project page, where they are posted over there. I'm going to try and keep this video short as well. So if I seem to be rushing, it's just because I'm trying to keep the video a little bit shorter. Next up is my autism awareness blanket. Now I can't show you that because we took that out. I finished it, when was it? It must have been a good few weeks ago. And yesterday we had a picnic in the park with my family, and I took the blanket out and it needs a good wash. It is really big as well. Give me a second, let me see if I can show you part of it. So my autism awareness blanket, as I said, is finished. It is huge. It's very bright and colourful because I was just using different patterns from my pattern book, and it's very difficult to show it the full size on this video. I think you kind of get the gist. It's a bedspread size, so this fits a single bed with a little bit of overlap. There you go. And it's huge. It needs a wash because, like I said, we took it to the park. We used it as a picnic blanket, and that fit quite a few of us on there. So that has been enjoyed already. So I'm really pleased about that. There wasn't any particular pattern for that. I just used different granny squares that I have in my Square a Day book by Tracy Lord. And yeah, that is it. I'm pleased that that one's done. And I used double knit yarn for those, various types of acrylic double knit yarns. And I used some swatches actually. I think I mentioned that before. In the blanket I did some, I used some swatches that I'd done for just to kind of try out crochet stitches. So this blanket is crocheted, completely crocheted. But like this square, for example, I was testing out a different, the basket stitch, and I decided to use the swatch that I made for the basket stitch and just make it a part of the blanket. So that's what it is. The squares are a bit of a mishmash of different types of squares, different patterns. So yeah, pleased with that. Glad that one's done though, and that has got a place on the bed in the spare room, so that's cool. I bought this magazine, Simply Knitting, not episode, what do you call it, issue 174, which looks like that. I bought that and I saw this cute little bonnet in there that I decided I wanted to make. Hopefully you can see that. I decided to make that for the baby that is due in my family. And so I made a start on that. That's it here. Quite a quick knit. This is using double knit yarn, and It's not very technical. I think I did the 3 to 12 month size. It's not a very technical pattern, very easy to follow. It has a nice little picot edging, which you can see here. I'll get a bit closer. So there's the picot edging. Hopefully you can see that. And a kind of a cute pattern when decreasing the crown. It looks really pretty. This bit has an opening at the back because, like I said, it's a bonnet. So you tie it at the front. So that's what it looks like. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I ran out of the pink, and that's why I have the cream neckband, but I think it goes nicely with the socks. So yeah, I was thinking perhaps I could use the cream again to do the little butterfly that's in the pattern here. It's got a little butterfly on it, and I was thinking I could probably just knit that up in the cream and then stitch that onto the side of the hat. So that may be something that I will do. I'm not sure yet because I'm trying to focus on some other things. So yeah, so that is that. That was using, let's see, what yarn is this? I used a 3.25mm needle and a number 4 needle. So I think I used a 3.25 for the it was for this, for the I-cord edging, and the I-cord is, this I-cord edging is the first I-cord I've ever done, so I was pretty pleased with how that turned out. Never done I-cord before, and pretty pleased with that. Turned out pretty good. I think it was 3 stitches, no, let's see, 3 or 4. 4 stitches, 4 stitch I-cord edge, I think it was. And yeah, I like it, and I liked how quickly that knit up. So that's the hat. That one was using Stylecraft yarn in the colour pink, and I think the pattern is called the Little Butterfly Bonnet Hat. That is actually on Ravelry. I don't think it's a free pattern though. Let me just have a quick look, because it is in Simply Knitting. It's not listed as one you can you buy it? No, I think you have to buy the magazine for this one. It's not on, it's listed on Ravelry, but I don't think you can buy it on Ravelry. So yeah, check out that issue 174 of Simply Knitting if you're interested in that cute little bonnet. What do I have next? I have my, oh yeah, I forgot to mention actually, on this hat, on this bonnet, I had to do an S2 KPO, and I had a lot of trouble deciphering what that was. I thought it would be simple and straightforward to just do a slip 2, then knit and pass the slip stitches over. Slip 2, knit 1, pass slip stitches over. That's what I thought you had to do. But I realised after I'd tried to do it and the crown didn't actually work out the way it looked in the picture, I started the crown again using the slip 2 KPO that I saw on the internet. I used YouTube to help me do that. It's probably common knowledge, but for me it wasn't. It's not something I've ever done before, and that gave me this kind of ridge in the middle. Hopefully you can see that. It gives this kind of raised decrease, which is what I wasn't getting before. It was slightly different. So yeah, the S2 KPO, I used YouTube to figure out how to do that so that I'd get the raised stitching, and I'm pleased with how that turned out. It's not as raised as it looks in their photograph, but I think that's because they're using a different type of yarn for theirs. I think their one may be closer to cotton and my one is just acrylic. So yeah, so that's the bonnet. Then I have finished the wood pigeon socks, which are, let's see if I can find where's my video? The wood pigeon socks, these were a work in progress last time round. Can't remember how far I got. It's the second pair that I've made. I think these were a size, are they 7? I think they were 7. I've just done a knit 2 purl 2 cuff, vanilla sock, and a German short row heel. And what did I do for the toe? it was just a normal decrease for the toe. For the toe I did knit through the back loop, I think it was. It looks like knit through back loop toes. Let me quickly check that out. I'm looking at my iPad here. So I use all the information that you need regarding any of the stuff that I do. You'll see on my Ravelry project pages, because I try and put as much information in there as I can so that I can go back and recreate the look if I'm happy with it, and also so that if you guys are interested in doing the socks or whatever it is I'm making at the time, you will see exactly what I did, and it may help you if you get stuck on any particular points in the pattern. This one, as I said, I didn't follow a pattern for. These are just straightforward vanilla socks because I didn't want a pattern because the yarn is patterned already. For the increases I used the higher, cast on and toe increases, magic loop, yarn over increases on alternative rounds up to 22 stitches. So I did the yarn over increase, not the knit through back loop or the pick up, what do you call it, when you pick up the stitch in between. Didn't do that one. And the heel is a German short row heel. So the yarn is Wood Pigeon yarn by West Yorkshire Spinners, which is a 4-ply yarn, and the needles I used were higher sharps in a 2.25mm and my CHAOGU 9-inch circulars in 2.25mm. I tend to seem to favour the 2.25mm for my socks because I like the way they knit up. It's nice and I don't know how to describe it. It's just nice and plainish. I don't know any other way to describe it, but I like the way they knit up. Quite pleased with those. The German short row needs a little bit of work to try and avoid the holes at the side, but that's a work in progress for me. So that is that. So I've finished my little kick or stint of doing German short row heels, and then I decided I wanted to try doing a Flegel heel. And I watched a video on YouTube by Happy Knits where she showed how she did toe up socks 2 at a time using a Flegel heel, and that helped me a lot when I decided to start working on these socks. So these are my stripy alpine orange socks. The yarn is fingering weight yarn by Woolly Mama Yarns. This is a burnt orange colourway, and it's 75% merino, 25% nylon, and the colourful section is the alpine yarn by who's the yarn by? Felt Fusion, and it's a superwash merino and nylon sock. So those are the 2 colours. I've done the orange contrasting heel and toe. I didn't feel like doing the contrasting heel because it's the first time I've done the Flegel heel, and I wanted to see exactly how it was going to work out. And I quite like the look of just the toes and just the cuffs in the contrasting colour. So these ones were worked toe up using my yarn over method, which creates this kind of triangular shape. More information, check out my project page. I like that, it fits really nicely. These are done for me, so they're in a UK size 7. The Flegel heel was interesting. I do like the way it works. It's very easy. I think it's a lot easier than the heel flap and gusset type heel. This is what it actually looks like when it's done. So it's slightly different in the way it looks. See if I can show you there. It's slightly different in the way it looks, but it does have the similar kind of feature that the heel flap and gusset has. The only problem I had with this pair, and being my first pair it's completely fine, is that I've got a little bit more of a hole where I joined in the round to get back in the round after the heel on one sock. I think the other one worked out okay. Yeah, this one worked out okay, but on the first sock I had a little bit of trouble with the hole there, but I still think they're good. They're fine. I really like the way these turned out, and I want to do another pair of Flegel heel socks because I'd like to see how it will work out on another pair. I quite like the fit. They are very similar in in my mind to, like I said, the heel flap and gusset, only it seems to me to be a little bit less work because I've worked it toe up for one, but also there's no picking up of stitches, and I love that fact. I hate picking up stitches, so this works for me. So I'm going to see if I can do another pair using the Fleagle heel. Not sure what colourway I'm going to use, but I'm just going to see how I get on with a second pair of these. Oh, and incidentally, I decided to look up the Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off again, and I realised that I've been doing it wrong, and I've been doing, what have I been doing? I didn't do the yarn over. I think the Jenny stretchy bind off has a yarn over after you knit one stitch, do your yarn over, then you knit another stitch and slip the yarn over off, knit, and then slip the first stitch off, something like that. I can't remember now. I have to look that up again. I'm really bad at remembering things, so apologies for that. But I realised I've been doing it wrong on my previous socks, and so these ones turned out slightly different. The cuff, you will see, has like a, it looks like a kind of garter ridge at the top, and I quite like that detail, and it is stretchy. It's very stretchy, but it does kind of come back. Same with this one. So yeah, I just have to knit it a little bit loose, a little bit more loose than I normally would, but I like it. I'm really liking the way these socks turned out. I'm really liking that. I'm very pleased with these, and I will be doing the Fleagle heel again. And I quite like the yarn, the way the yarn turned out, the stripes. It's just, oh, I love them. I love these socks, and I can't wait to get wearing them. I wanted to share them with you first before I decided to wear them, so now that I've shown you, I'm going to be able to wear them. And the pattern I used for the Fleagle heel alongside the YouTube video by Happy Knits was called Straight Up Socks by Kelly Oreb. And I think she used a different size needle, did she? I used my 2.25mm needles for this, and I used circulars. I did the Turkish cast on for the toe, and then I went on to use my circular needles. I tend to use really long circular needles for the toe cast on, and then I go down to my 9-inch circulars. So I'll use like 100 centimetres or 80 centimetres to do my Turkish cast on, and then when I start working up in the round, then I'll use my 9-inch circulars, which is so much easier and so much faster. So I'm really pleased with that. So that's my socks, my second pair of socks. For me. So this is the Kelly Oreb pattern that I used. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, so do check that out if you're interested in having a go at the Fleagle heel. I love trying out different techniques because I like to learn different styles, and then I have a lot more choice for how I like my socks or anything else that I'm knitting. So yeah, I like to kind of mix things up a little bit, and I do like the Fleagle heel. So I think those are all of my finished objects. I have a couple of whips to show you. The first one is the memory blanket. So I've been working on this as and when I've had a moment in between being hospitable, and I am now at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across and 6 down. So I've got a 6 square blanket at the moment. I'm working this side. Hang on, which way does it go? It goes, yeah, it goes this way. I'm getting confused. Right, here we are. So I started at the bottom, right here. I started with this one and I've worked upwards. And this is how far I've got. Quite enjoying the different colours. Now that I've finished up with the bright colours that I was using on my autism awareness blanket, the orange, the pink and this yellow, I've decided to incorporate it into this scrappy blanket, mitered square blanket, whatever you want to call it, and I'm working away on this. So yeah, there's some progress. Not finished yet, not sure how big I want to do it still, but I'm still using up my double knit yarn and moving that along. So that might be another picnic blanket actually, because that worked out well. I'm liking that. Next up, the double knit scarf I haven't worked on, so I'm not going to share that. I have been working on my cardigan, which is the Knit KAL cardigan, what do they call it? this is what it looks like. It's a King Cole pattern, which is a paid for pattern, and it does have the pattern includes a jumper and a cardigan, and I just wanted to make the cardigan. As I mentioned in a previous video, I have in fact made the cardigan before, but I was a bit generous in the sizing and I made it way too big, so I had to give that away, and now I decided to start again and do one from scratch for myself and see if I can get the sizing right. So I think at the last time that I shared with you my progress, I'm using a cotton yarn, by the way. This is a mixture, so it's King Cole Bamboo Cotton 4-ply, and it's in the colour Wisteria. Last time I showed you I'd done like one side, so this will be the front half here, and then after that I did side number 2, and that's that there. It's a lovely lilac colour, and I'm hoping to get this done in time for the kids' summer holidays. So that's that, and I am working on the back. So this is the back. That's how far I've got. I've got a couple of centimetres left to do on the back before I start shaping. I have made a few mistakes. It's just a plain stocking stitch, so it's kind of a mindless knit at the moment, but I will very shortly, maybe a centimetre or so, be on my way to starting shaping, and for that I need time to actually concentrate on the pattern. So I kind of put that down in favour of the mitre square blanket, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to concentrate on it, and so that one's been on hold for a while. This one I used 2.75mm for the rib, and I'm using 3.25s for the body of the sweater cardigan. And what size am I using? I don't even know what size I'm doing. I'm doing the third size in the pattern, whatever that is. So that would be 36 to 38 inch bust. I should put that on Ravelry. If you want any more information, check out the Ravelry project page. And yeah, that is where I am with that. I'm using my CROCHET circulars, and I'm really loving these. These are the interchangeables. I'm really enjoying using these at the moment. And I forgot to mention last time, these are in, I think actually I only just got this after I did my last video. These are in my Pearl and Plum bag, which I got in a giveaway from the Pen Hooks and Needles podcast. I can't remember specifically who donated it, but thank you very much if it was you. Leave a comment below so I can say a proper thank you. And yeah, I love it. It has a nice little pocket on the inside. It's got cupcakes all around it, and it's really cute, very sturdy, and it's a drawstring. It's really nice, and I'm loving using this. So that's where my cardigan is being housed, in that Pearl and Plum cupcake bag. So yeah, when I get a moment I will sit and concentrate on this pattern and enjoy working that, because I think I've just got, after the back I've just got the 2 sleeves to do. I've done everything else, and the neckband I guess, and I'm good to go. I should be on target. I'm trying to finish this by August, and we're now in June, so I think I've got enough time to finish this up. So that's that. What else do I have on the go? That's it. I've kind of limited myself to just a couple of projects because I've finished up a few. I don't have very much on the needles, just those 2. I have, however, got yarn to share with you, so let me get on to the incoming. So I just recently purchased on Etsy a yarn called Day at the Races. This is a 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon yarn. It's by Owl About Yarn, and it came caked up, so I'm really pleased about that. I don't have to use my ball winder to unwind it, and it came with this cute little stitch marker, which is an owl stitch marker, which I shall use, and that is it there. And hopefully you can see the colours. The reason I was drawn to this is because these are the colours in the Jamaican flag, and my heritage is Jamaican, so that is why I was drawn to this. I'm not sure who I'm going to make something for out of this, but I really wanted these colours, and I think that perhaps my husband or another male relative would really love a pair of socks out of this yarn. So I'm pretty chuffed with these. The next thing I have is a Biffsugar yarn hank. This is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 4-ply fingering yarn. This is in the colourway Introvert. Did I tell you the colourway of this one? Day at the Races, sorry. This one was called Day at the Races. This is Introvert, and it is a lovely pink, blue, pale pink, slightly purplish yarn. It's really lovely and soft. This is from Biffsugar Yarns. I think somebody recommended Biffsugar Yarns in one of their podcasts, and what I like to do is I like to watch a podcast and note down the people that do that hand dye yarn in the UK. Reason being, I can get UK yarn at a reasonable price and not have to incur ridiculous postage and packaging charges. So I'm trying at the moment to stick to UK yarn dyers, hand yarn dyers, because it's more cost effective for me. And yeah, I came across the Biffsugar Yarn podcast. I can't remember who suggested it. I think it may have been oh, what's her name? What is her name? Let me just see if I can find her. I've not had a lot of time to watch a lot of videos lately. Like I said, I've had guests, so I've been a little bit more strapped for time. Oh, what is her name? Come on now, where are you? Little Drops of Wonderful. She's very good at sharing the different podcasts and different names of people, names of shops on Etsy or wherever that do UK based stockists basically. And I watched one of her videos, I think it was episode 30, and I noted down all of the people that she mentioned that she bought yarn from, or that she was having a collaboration with, and I added them to my Etsy shop, and I came across a few yarns that I really liked, and this was one of them, so I decided to buy this one. And like I said, it's a Biffsugar Yarns, a hank of yarn in the colourway Introvert. I'm expecting, I think, 2 more hanks of yarn that I've ordered, and I won't go into detail about that until they come in. Hopefully I'll be able to record again in the next couple of weeks, and then I'll be able to show you exactly what yarn I've picked up. But that is it. That's what I've been doing. I haven't been doing a lot. It's been really hot here in the UK. I've been loving that. We've been out enjoying the sunshine more than anything, and it's just really lovely and warm over here, so we're trying to make the most of it. And like I said, I've been entertaining relatives from the US, so I haven't really had a lot of time to do much more knitting. But now that they have, well, most of them have gone, I can kind of find a little bit of time to slot in to do a couple of bits and pieces, catch up on my cardigan, and maybe start a new pair of socks, because I like having a pair of socks on the go for my commute. So yeah, I have other yarns. I think I may have shown you them already because I've hanked them up. But I'm trying to decide what to work on next. I've got some baby bits to do. I've been printing off so many different patterns, I just don't know where to start. So I'm going to have to slow down on the patterns and start actually using some of the stuff that I've got for the projects that I have in mind, and get a move on before, you know, the babies are born and it's too late. Because knowing me, I will still be sitting here knitting, and the baby will be like 3 months old, and I'll be knitting something for a 1-month-old, you know, that kind of thing. So I want to get a move on some of the baby bits and work on another pair of socks. So we shall see. Hopefully by next time round I will have more completed items to show you, because I do get through socks quite quickly, especially vanilla socks. I'm going to attempt doing some patterns, I think, soon, so look out for those. But yeah, that is it. Nothing else to share with you really. I'm looking around to see if there's anything else, and there isn't. So I'm going to leave you now. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this podcast, then do please give me a thumbs up so that I know you liked it, or leave a comment in the comment section below, and also let other people know about it so that they can come over and see what I'm working on as well, and if they're interested they can subscribe too, which would be great. It'd be lovely to have more people watching and sharing information in this kind of community. I love watching other people's projects, seeing what they're doing, how they've tackled certain problems, that kind of thing. It's very helpful to me. So yeah, do please suggest my podcast to other people that you feel may be interested, and subscribe if you haven't already. That would be great, because then you'd get to know when I do my next upload if you click the notification button. And that is it. That's all I'm going to say for now. I'm going to leave you because I'm not going to go rambling on and on and on about nothing. But yeah, I'm going to go. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you will join me with my next video. Like I said, click on the little notification bell and you will be notified when I upload a new video, and save you having to kind of keep coming and checking back. But yeah, I'm good to go. Thanks for watching. See you next time.